In the dimly lit square of District 12, the air was thick with tension as the townsfolk gathered for the reaping, their somber expressions hinting at the weight of the day. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a pallid light over the faces of the crowd that huddled together blanket-like in the cold October wind. Families clung tightly to one another, mothers holding their children close, eyes darting nervously to the stark platform that loomed at the center of the square. Today marked the second quarter Quell, a brutal and twisted reminder of the capital's unyielding grip. Every 25 years the rules of the Hunger Games were altered to reinforce the capital's power, and this year, each district would send 4 tributes instead of 2. Madeline stood with her sister, Maisily, their fingers intertwined defensively, a gesture of solidarity against the message of terror they knew lay ahead. Maisily, I can't believe we're here again. Madeline wanted to speak, to offer comfort, but the truth loomed larger than the comfort of words. As the town's mayor stepped forward, his voice echoed across the square, a blend of authority, dread and resignation that struck a chord with the somber assembly. He lifted the glass bowl containing the names of the eligible boys, then the other bowl, filled with names of girls, his hands trembling slightly as he fished through the glass. The silence was punctuated only by the occasional sob, the scraping boots of peacekeepers shifting uneasily in the background. Mayor, may the odds be ever in your favor. The first girl tribute from District 12 is Maisily Donner. In an instant, Madeline's heart felt like an ice block, paralyzing her with both fear and disbelief. Maisily's face went pale, taken aback by the suddenness of fate. The crowd gasped, and from the back a piercing scream erupted as a mother crumpled to the ground, the heartbreak echoing louder than the recent announcement. Madeline, no, no, no! Madeline broke free from her sister's side only to be stopped short by a firm grip, a peacekeeper who looked impassive and bleak in the fading light. Maisily was pushing forward, eyes wide and determined, her spirit unyielding despite the impending doom. Maisily, I'll fight for us both! Mayor, get up here, Maisily! The weight of the choice squeezed the life out of the square's atmosphere as she climbed the platform, her sister's eyes never leaving her. As Maisily walked forward, the mayor pulled the second female name, Mayor Layla White. Next the mayor turned to the bowl of boys, and with a steadying breath, dipped his hand into the chaos of names. His exposed skin turned pale from stress as he pulled out another slip. Mayor, the second boy tribute from District 12 is Haymitch Abernathy. As Haymitch walked forward, the mayor dipped his hand in the bowl once more, pulling the last male tribute name. As he opened the folded piece, the mayor spoke into the microphone. Mayor, the second male tribute is Cypress Clark. A small boy, not much older than 13, emerged from the crowd, slowly moving to the stage. As Cypress arrived on the stage, the 4 of them stood on the platform. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, our 4 tributes from District 12. He clapped, and the townsfolk lightly clapped. As the train rumbled toward the capital, Haymitch Abernathy stared out the window, watching the landscape of District 12 blur into a patchwork of muted colors. Beside him sat Maisily, her youthful energy a stark contrast to his brooding demeanor. Maisily, can you believe it? The 2 of us of all people. Haymitch, believe it? I'd rather not. We're just fodder for their games. Maisily chuckled, a sound that momentarily lifted the heaviness in the air. Maisily, you're always so cheerful, Haymitch. I mean, look at the others they picked. They don't stand a chance. I heard one of them is terrified of heights. Can you imagine? Haymitch allowed himself a small smile, recalling the quivering boy who had almost fainted when his name was drawn. Haymitch. And the girl? She looked like she'd never even held a weapon before. What were they thinking? Maisily? Maybe they thought we'd be easy targets. Haymitch. Not if I have anything to say about it. I've seen more guts in a squirrel than those 2. The train sped through the tunnels leading to the capital, and for a moment, their laughter echoed off the metal walls like a promise that they wouldn't go down without a fight. Haymitch, just stick with me. We'll show them what District 12 is made of. Maisily, together we can make them regret ever stepping into that arena. As they continued their journey toward an uncertain fate, Haymitch felt an ember of hope ignite within him. Inside the training center, tributes scattered amidst unfamiliar territory filled with challenges designed to showcase their strengths and weaknesses to potential sponsors who wielded power like daggers ready to strike when least expected. During the 3rd day of training, Haymitch observed closely as alliances began weaving together the careers with now 18 strong. He had an unexpected interaction with a girl named Astra from District 7. While at one of the survival stations, Astra caught his eye, not just for her beauty but also her tenacity etched deep within those fierce blue irises that reflected both vulnerability and strength. She stood tall among her peers despite being overshadowed by larger competitors seeking dominance over one another without remorse or restraint. Astra, what do you think of all of this? Haymitch, I think we're all pawns on this board, but even pawns can become queens if they play wisely. Astra, some pawns have a better chance of being a queen if they get better odds from these game makers. I got a 5-1 because of my looks in my district. I've never used an axe before. Haymitch, I got a 10-1, which I'll take it. But I think after this parade and interview tonight, those sponsors won't be there. Our outfits have to be one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. It's coal pieces glued on my suit. Astra, you could be dressed up as a tree. That's what I'll be wearing. Their conversation reminded Haymitch that you can have whatever odds, but the key is in the sponsor. His goal for the interview tonight was to create something unique about himself to gain sponsors and stand out from the 47 other tributes. Caesar Flickerman had become a household name as the show's host, his signature twinkling midnight blue suit capturing the audience's attention. The atmosphere was electric, full of anticipation and trepidation as tributes prepared to face the dangers that awaited them. As Caesar prepared to interview Haymitch Abernathy, Caesar leaned forward, his red lips curling into an inviting smile. Caesar, so Haymitch, what do you think of the games having 100% more competitors than usual? Haymitch's eyes drifted around the stadium, surveying the enraptured audience. He was clad in a drink-stained shirt and battered trousers, embodying resignation wrapped in defiance. Haymitch, I don't see that it makes much difference. They'll still be 100% as stupid as usual, so I figure my odds will be roughly the same. Laughter erupted among the Capitol audience, but Haymitch's indifference hung in the air like a storm cloud. The arena, a breathtaking realm of dying beauty, awaited the contestants. A sprawling meadow bedecked with vibrant flowers swayed in a gentle breeze, contrasting massively with the towering snow-capped peak overlooking it all. The golden cornucopia glistened in the center, a treasure chest amidst a ticking time bomb disguised as an idyllic landscape. But appearances were deceiving, the air was tainted, everything an alluring trap heralding death. Only the rainwater falling from the sky was safe to consume. All the brightly colored plants and flowers radiated lethal poisons, and the mutations were grotesque fusions of beauty and horror. Golden, carnivorous squirrels with razor-sharp teeth, vividly patterned poisonous butterflies, and vibrant candy-pink birds with beaks that could plunge into flesh in an instant. As the sun illuminated the field, the anxious murmurs of tributes crescendoed to a deafening silence, broken only by the chilling clang of the starting gong. Fear plunged through Haymitch as the conflicting beauty and danger overwhelmed him. Many tributes were in awe of the beauty, neglecting to hear the gong. Haymitch kept his eyes on the prize. With double the tributes, he knew he needed a weapon and a backpack, otherwise, he never stood a chance. The gong sounded and Haymitch sprinted forward. Chaos erupted. Haymitch ducked and weaved among competitors, while treacherous hands clawed at supplies, a race marred by desperation and fear. With the agility honed from years of survival, he outmaneuvered grasping limbs, snatching a backpack and a collection of weapons in one fluid motion before darting into the embrace of the surrounding woods. Not far off, Macely Lockwood stumbled in the intense fervor, hands desperately scouring for a resource among competitors. She claimed a small but crucial bag containing a blowgun and darts. She ran off into the woods, narrowly missing a knife that was thrown by one of the District 2 tributes. On the fourth day, chaos erupted as a volcano belched forth its molten fury. Lava cascaded down its sides like wrathful serpents, engulfing 5 careers and 7 other tributes in searing flames. In that moment of cataclysmic upheaval, alliances crumbled into ash, while new destinies were forged amidst ruin. Haymitch quickly found himself face to face with 3 well-trained careers. They laughed, confident in their strength, but they were met with an unexpected ferocity. Despite being smaller in stature, he was lightning fast and moved like a shadow, dodging and weaving between their muscular forms. He managed to dispatch 2 of them with swift, brutal strikes of his knife. but the third, retaliating with panic-inspired rage, disarmed him. In that moment of helplessness, impending doom danced around Haymitch like a predator. Then, the comforting whoosh of Maiseli's blowgun rang in his ears. The remaining career fell lifeless to the ground, a poisoned dart jutting grotesquely from their neck. As the forest quieted, the two exchanged looks of understanding. It was mutual desire for survival that brought them together, a bond forged from ashes. Maiseli, looks like we're allies now. Haymitch, don't get too comfortable. Survival is ever elusive around here. As they explored the woods cautiously, the landscape's beauty morphed into a sinister entity. They quickly realized that not all threats were human. Haymitch set traps, while Maiseli fashioned poisonous darts using the native flora, transforming the arena's dangers into weapons of their own. Days passed in a haze of violence and cunning. Each tribute that fell left them with fewer allies, and trust became a currency less valuable each hour. The careers dominated the arena, claiming a stronghold near the cornucopia, which thrived like a corrupted oasis. Their control over crucial supplies and resources made them formidable foes. In a strategic night raid, Haymitch and Maiseli saw their chance. With stealth and teamwork, they infiltrated the careers' camp. The tension hummed like a live wire as the darkness shrouded them in secrecy. An error could spell their doom, but desperation brewed courage in their hearts. In the ensuing chaos, Haymitch confronted one of the lead careers face to face, the scent of iron and sweat mingling in the night. They fought, a deadly ballet of survival, each movement a calculation of life and death. Just as the career brought a sword down towards him, Maiseli's expertise saved Haymitch. She shot another precision dart that found a home in the career's neck as they stumbled back in shock, leading to his demise. Maiseli, together. Urgency trailed her words as they reclaimed the supplies, the only safe food and water remaining in a deadly arena. But soon, they found themselves at an edge, a cliff, overlooking nothingness. Haymitch was defeated, hoping there was more to the edge of the arena. Maiseli, I must go. I don't want it to come down to the two of us. Haymitch, I understand. Grimly but resolutely aware that sometimes separation was necessary for survival, but fortune had no mercy. Maiseli fell prey to one last cruel twist when she was struck down by a candy-pink mutt, a grotesque mockery birthed from capital whimsy, its beak skewering her neck as she gasped for breath beside him on cold stone ground. In those final moments filled with agony wrapped in tenderness, he held her hand tightly until warmth faded into chilling stillness. Alone now, amid echoes haunting his mind like wraiths yearning for vengeance or solace alike, Haymitch pressed on through desolation marked by fleeting memories. The boy from District 4 fell next beneath golden squirrels unleashed upon him like avenging angels seeking retribution against their human captors. And so it came down to two, Haymitch Abernathy versus a career from District 1, an imposing figure driven not just by ambition but sheer ferocity, honed through countless battles fought without remorse or hesitation. She towered over him like dark clouds pregnant with storm, yet he remained undaunted. Adrenaline surged through veins ignited by loss, transformed into resolve unyielding before insurmountable odds stacked high against his frail frame. Their dance began, not one of elegance but primal instinct dictating each movement laden heavy with intention wrapped around blades flashing dangerously close while hearts thudded furiously resonating whispers echoing survive. Steel clashed against steel until wounds marred skin showcasing pain etched across bodies bruised, yet refusing surrender even as fate toyed mercilessly between them. He cut out her eye then received an axe's cruel kiss carving deep grooves across flesh threatening imminent doom. But still he fought. In one final act born out of desperation laced intricately entwined within hope's embrace, she hurled her axe towards him. He dodged deftly, just enough causing it instead to collide harshly against the arena's force field, which reverberated back sending splinters flying straight toward her face. Her cannon sounded. It is announced the winner of the 50th Hunger Games is Haymitch. He is gravely injured and comes in and out of consciousness as the hovercraft carries him out of the arena. Two weeks after the brutal conclusion of the games, an annihilating punishment had befallen Haymitch. President Snow wanted to punish him for his actions during the final showdown. President Snow viewed using the arena's force field in a clever way made the capital look foolish, which was seen as an act of defiance against their authority. Snow used this to serve as a warning to both Haymitch and the other districts about the consequences of challenging the capital's power. They chose to execute Haymitch's younger brother, his mother, and his girlfriend Clara. Each day that passed felt like a weight added to his already burdened soul, the laughter and joy of the past replaced by the echo of empty bottles and shattered dreams. Those initial weeks were a blur, just days marked by heavy drinking and sleepless nights, consumed by the spiraling despair of losing everything he ever loved.